Today, I'm going to run through the exact sales process you should be using in your video agency to take leads all the way to paying clients. It's the exact same system we use to grow our retainer program from 0 to 45 clients in around 2 years. And just before we start, I wrote this as an email as part of my 15-day free email course. Go get it in the description. But if you sign or aim to sign one client per month across a year, you're going to end up with 12 retainer clients at the end of the year. Those 12 clients paying, say, $3,000 a month is going to equal out to $36,000 per month. And I genuinely think that if it was life and death, you had to either pick up the phone or email random people or create some type of content structure where you can sign at least one client per month for a year, you'd do it. So before we get into all the sales process and how all the little functions work, I just want you to realize that if you just focus on signing one client per month for a year, you can end up with a $36,000 a month reoccurring video business in 1 year's time. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's jump into the sales process video. All right, there's 4 key stages. It's going to be a lead or someone reaching out, you sending off your case study, booking an initial meeting, and then sending that agreement or contract. Super simple: lead, case study, meeting, contract. That's it. The success of your video business isn't going to be on how strong your actual offer is. It's going to be how you position it and how you sell it when you're in a meeting. Again, the struggle most video agencies are going to have at this point is that they've got a super effective and super efficient new offer or service. Especially if you watch my last video about the golden retainer. If you can craft this offer, all that's left to do is position it properly in order to sell it. Put it super simply, once we send off that case study document to a reach out or a potential lead, all of our energy and focus should go towards following up that person in order to book a meeting to run through what's in the case study. Again, you can use the same Notion board that we use to go from 0 clients all the way to 40, 45. It's in the top of the description, so go there, click it, get it, and you can work through this with me. It's completely free, no email, just fucking get the board so we can sort it out. The way I like to set this up with automation is through things like Zapier or N8N, whatever automation you use. Even things like Typeform have them inbuilt. But as soon as someone submits a lead through our website or Typeform or a landing page, whatever you use to collect your leads, we're going to automatically zap that lead into our Notion board. And that's going to get zapped into our add lead or our reach out column. So if someone's reaching out through Instagram, through our DM, I'm going to put them down in that add lead or reach out column. People in this column are nothing more than people reaching out or submitting an inquiry into wanting more information about our new program or service that we're offering. If you've been making a lot of content or running ads, you're going to be talking about your unique name of your retainer program. Ours is called the ecosystem. So I need to make a content video eventually, but for now, in all of our content when we were first starting, all we would do is talk about the ecosystem, which was our name for our golden retainer that we created in the last video on my YouTube channel. So all the messaging and all the vocabulary that we were using on our organic and even some of our paid content was about the ecosystem. The ecosystem does this, the ecosystem does that. This is the benefits of joining our ecosystem program. It gets people thinking and talking about, like, what the fuck is this thing? It has to be something that I don't know. So they either reach out or they submit an inquiry on a landing page or your website being like, hey, I just want some more info on this program, or what's this new program you're running. That's the goal with the content and paid ads anyway. Either direct paid ads where it shows you the system and get them to reach out, or you talk about it enough in your content so when they feel the need to reach out and find out what this is or the results from the ecosystem program are this, they'll reach out and say, hey, can I have some more information about this program? That's when they either get zapped onto the board into the add lead or initial lead column, or we just add them in manually if they've reached out on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. The goal after they've submitted themselves as a lead or we've been chatting to them in the DM is to send them the case study document. I'm not going to cover this here about how to build one and what should be in it. If you want to know how to build one, I think it's day 8 or 9 in my 15-day free email course. So that'll also be in the description. So if you want to know how to build a case study, what to put in it, how it works, Go down there, sign up. It's completely free. I'll send you an email every single morning. It's literally our whole system, our whole retainer system, how to sell it, what to put in it, how to price it, absolutely everything. It's in that email course, so go get it if you haven't already. So after they've reached out or we've had a chat to them in the DM, we want to send them the case study document. And this is pretty much the game of business. It's what's going to separate people that don't go to that next level and the people that do get there. And that is your follow-up process. Once we move them to that case study doc sent column, the timer starts ticking. I'm going to give them 2 days to review it before I reach out again. And I'm going to reach out on the exact platform that they first came in on. So if they came through Instagram DM, I'm going to give them 2 days after I've sent the case study to at least look at it or give them a chance to look at it. And then I'm opening a conversation again in that Instagram DM and say, hey, mister, have you had a chance to look at that case study document I sent? That's our first reach out. If they came through by email, usually they have an email signature. I'll either text them or reply to that email. The idea of this first reach out isn't to book a meeting. The idea behind this first reach out is to just get a response. The amount of people that say that they get ghosted when they've reached out to people to follow up is because they're doing exactly that. They're trying to follow up, or they'll start God forbid you start the email with, hey, just following up. You start your first reach out with, hey, just following up. It's a big red flag. Do not do that. We just want to say super quick, hey, did you get a chance to look at the case study? ? All we want to do is get them to respond so we can open a conversation again. Ultimately, we want to book in a meeting where we can catch up with them either online or in person and answer any questions that they have. You just have to chat to them like a normal human and progressively push them towards going through the case study. If they say, no, mate, haven't had a look, we'll get to it whenever, that's fine, don't push anymore. If they gave you a date, note that down in your Notion board. You can click their tile that they make in the board and you can write a little note. So 1st of January, reached out, said he'd check it in 2 days. We're using the Notion board as a simple CRM. If they've said they've had a look, generally they're going to have a few questions. So you can either go through them on where you're talking to them, or you can try and push a meeting and say, hey, I think it would probably be better if we catch up and go through it all. What day and what time suits you? The idea behind conversing and going through things on whatever platform is to try and book a meeting to go into more depth. If they don't want to book a meeting, chances are they're probably not going to be a good fit anyway. So there's no use trying to push too hard. Generally, if they're going to be a good client, after they've looked at the case study document, they're going to have a few questions and they're going to want to book a meeting with you anyway. But we need to follow up because most people aren't going to read the document and then come straight back to email or DM and go, oh, hey, let's book a meeting. Like I just read it. It's so good. They'll usually wait for you to reach out or they just forget. So if you don't reach out after those 2 days, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot because sometimes you can just reach out and say, hey, did you have a look at the case study document? And they'll just reply straight away and say, hey, yeah, I had a look. Looks good. When can you catch up to go through it? Or, hey, when can you catch up to do this or that? So that's the next step. We want to book in a meeting where we can go through it either on the phone, Zoom, in person. That's when we can move them in the Notion board to initial meeting booked. And this is going to be the juicy stuff. It's how we position our offer in the meeting. Everything we've done up to this point is just to get our foot in the door. This is just simple follow-up process in order to book a meeting. It's not fucking rocket science. Once we sit in the meeting, this is just videographer nightmare. They don't know how to position the offer. They don't know how to talk about their service in a way that's going to position it as high value to the client. I've done a ton of Instagram stuff on this, but I may as well cover it now. Most video agencies are just going to walk into this meeting and start yapping. The easiest way to start this conversation when you get into a meeting and just go, so, how can I help? What am I here for? What are we doing? You're not sitting down and just automatically jumping into a pitch or start rattling off all the features and things that are in your video service or your retainer. You just want to ask them, what are you struggling with? Based on what they say in this question, we're going to position our retainer or our new service as the solution to that problem. If you're sitting in front of someone and you say, so why am I here? What are you struggling with? It opens the floor for them to start talking about the problems that they're having in terms of it's probably going to be social media, more awareness, things like that. This question is all about exploring what roadblocks they currently have. Either going to be something like they don't have enough time to do their own social media or make content, but they know they need to do it, or they've tried someone in the past and they weren't happy with how this worked. Whatever problems they're having, we're going to solve with our new retainer or your current video offer. Think of your retainer or your service as a magic pill. Whatever problem they're having, This program is going to fix it. That's how you position your retainer, not as just 6 to 10 videos a month. It positions it as a solution to the problem that they're having. And it's a huge mental shift that you have to make when you sit down with new clients. The easiest reply after they list out all their roadblocks, I'm just going to use ecosystem because that's our retainer program name, but you can say, oh, that's why we include paid ads in our ecosystem program. We put it in there for that exact reason. It makes them feel like your retainer program is already built for their problem. And of course, if your program doesn't solve the shit they were saying, don't just fucking say it because I told you to say it. You have to think with your brain. Majority of the time, they're going to complain about not enough time or content needs to be better quality or this or that. And we usually include that in the retainer program, especially if you're doing content creation, social media, and paid ads. That covers a fair load of problems that businesses have when they're trying to get a videographer or a social media team in. Content creation quality is already sorted in that top of funnel content part. Taking time off their hands, that's sorted in the social media part. Business growth and anything related to leads or lead gen or actual tangible results, that's done in the paid ads part. This isn't just a linear conversation. You don't just storm in there, sit down and go, so what are your problems? And they're just gonna fucking tell you every single problem and you go, oh cool, we can solve all of those. Next question. You have to talk to them. It's just gonna be a back and forth. So showing them examples of what the content looks like, what the strategy is behind the content, how your social media management works, how you do your Notion board, your content calendars, maybe the paid ad structure that you set up. You're just going to go through things in depth to give them more information of what was behind the case study and how it can help fix their problems that they just said. However long this goes for, you're just going to make sure that they fully understand every part of the retainer or your new video service, how it all works, and what business results they're going to get from using you. One of the best wrap-up questions I like to use is why now? This is where they're going to open up the real reason why you're in the room. The why now question allows you to sit back while the client starts selling themselves on why they need to move ahead. After you've covered this, you can just rip straight into kind of the nuts and bolts of the offer. It already should be written pretty black and white in your case study doc, so you just want to breeze through exactly what they're going to get again. And just a quick reminder, it's not about what's in the offer, it's the result that it's going to generate for their business, which should always be the main talking point. If they've seen the case study doc, you're in there, you've booked a meeting and you've had a good chat, it's pretty straightforward to talk details and try and lock in that first shoot date. So the way we like to do our retainer shoots is book the same time and day every single month. It's easy to put in our calendar and it's easy for our client to know that on the 15th or every second Tuesday of the month they have a content block. If everything went well in the meeting, we try and book in that first shoot while we're there. Locking in that first shoot date while in the meeting holds them accountable. Again, it all comes back to sending more case studies. If we can pump more content, pump more ads, we're going to get more people wanting case studies. And once they reach out, we add them to that first column as someone who's reached out about a case study. We move them to the next column, which is sending them the case study. They have the document. We start our 2-day follow-up. If they don't respond after those first 2 days, follow up the next day, follow up the next day. We're going to keep following up till they tell us to fuck off. And you can even say that after 1, 2, 3 days of following up, say, hey, if you're not interested, just tell me no, or I'm going to keep asking. Once they book a meeting, we move them to the initial meeting booked column. Once we have the meeting, we send contract sent, and you can go from there. Very, very simple process. Most of the intricate and strategic stuff happen in that meeting. The rest is just generating reach outs, sending case study documents, and following up like fuck. Once we're in the meeting, we run through that simple strategy and positioning framework, get them on board, send the agreement, get started. I hope that helped. I tried to break it down as simple as I could, just so you don't get too overwhelmed. Again, that whole sales process Notion doc is going to be the top link in the description. If you want the full 15-day email course where I teach you how to build an offer, what to put in it, how to price it, how to sell it, how to get your first 3, 4, 5 clients, it'll probably be the second link in the description. It's the 15-day free email course. I'm planning on creating a whole video course on each one of those emails and putting it here on YouTube. So I'm super keen for that. I reckon that's going to really hit, going to help so many videographers out there. So that's what I'm going to work on over the next 2 weeks. Head to the description, either get that sales process Notion board, sign up to the 15-day email course, or DM me 222 on Instagram. If you have any problems, I'll either voice note you back or type back how you can fix it. If you don't want any of that shit, at least go follow me on Instagram and come along for the journey. Peace.